with this, now I request Mr. Manas Prati Mohanto, Technical Officer of the Central Computer Center, to kindly take all of you to the virtual tour of the campus. So Manas, please share the virtual tour video of the campus. Thank you for watching. This is your campus. You can see a lot of greeneries, and so without further delay, I would like to introduce our honorable director of the institute, Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay. I take a great privilege in introducing our director, sir. Professor Sivaji Bandyopadhyay obtained his bachelor's in computer science and engineering from Jadavpur University, master's PhD from Jadavpur University. His main area of research is natural language processing. He worked as a professor since 2001. Currently, he is on LIN. He joined as the director of NIT Silchar on 1st December 2017. Prior to that, he was with the head of the Computer Science and Engineering Department, Jadavpur University from 2012 to 2014, Dean, Faculty of Engineering Technology, and many other responsibilities. Professor Bandyopadhyay has supervised over 13 PhD students and a total of 12 PhD scholars are currently working under his supervision. He has published around many research articles in journal and conference, in report and symposium. He has also authored 2 books. He has completed 4 international research projects with France, Mexico, Japan as the principal investigator in the area of sentiment analysis, question answering and textual entailment. He was the chief investigator of 8 national consortium mode projects in the area of machine translation, English to Indian languages and Indian language to Indian languages, cross-lingual information access, development of tree bank of Indian languages, among others. Currently, he is executing 3 international projects funded by Spark MHRD with Germany, ASEAN with Indonesia and Malaysia, DST, CNRS with France. The Center for Natural Language Processing, a research center, has been established at NIT Silchar under his leadership. Sir has various international research collaboration and visited several countries to deliver invited talk. He is regularly organizing the workshop series in sentiment analysis and AI meets psychology. He was the program chair of the 14th International Conference on Natural Language Processing. He has started the International Conference on Big Data, Machine Learning and Application in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at NIT Silchar. Professor Bandyopadhyay ranks 40th among the top computer scientists in India with an 8,159 citation from his works as published by research.com. So I request our Honorable Director Sir to deliver his address for the newly admitted PG students. Please.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon to all my dear students who have decided rightfully to join National Institute of Technology Silchar, and a good afternoon to my colleagues also at NIT Silchar. So just now we had taken you through a virtual tour of the campus, because had the situation been normal and you would have been in the campus, so we would have been happy to welcome you to the 625-acre green campus, and you have only got a glimpse of that. But this short video tour, virtual tour across the campus, that's something like a dream to all of us. Something that for the last 2 years, I think since 2020 when the corona pandemic started, everyone with the limited mobility, everyone is dreaming that when the campus educational institutions will be full of such activities. Students, their studies, their activities in the laboratory, outside the laboratory, and everywhere. They enjoy with their happiness, with their sorrow. But the main thing is that there is life everywhere. So at present, what we are doing is something like this one, that is for the master students. We are calling the second year or the final year students. So obviously, if everything goes okay, maybe you will be getting a chance to come to the campus very soon. But again, let's keep our fingers crossed, because the festival season is coming, and so similar to what happened last year, no one is sure that what can happen to the corona, but I understand that is almost all of you must have taken the complete doses of your vaccine. And if you have not taken that, so please do take, so that in the earliest opportunity, that is whenever we get the green signal from the government to invite the students of the first years also, so that the condition that every student must have 2 doses of the vaccination, so that must be fulfilled. My dear friends, so just now we had a tour across the campus, which was earlier a tea garden. And those of you who are not from the northeast part of the country and who have only sipped tea and have not seen a tea garden, so there are active tea gardens just beside our campus. So the students, as part of their induction program, when they come here, so just after a few minutes of walking, you can cross the boundary and you can be in a tea garden, and you can see that how the tea leaves are being plucked. This is a place where the sun light is at its maximum, you can say right from 4:30 in the morning, say till 5:30 or 6 in the evening, we get complete sunlight. That is when you'll be coming to the campus, and I think in the picture you must have seen, there are solar plates on top of various buildings. So this solar rooftop solar power plant generates 1 megawatt of solar, that is the capacity, and there roughly around 60 to 65% power generation is done during the daytime. And besides that, we have the solar water heater in most of the hostels, and where they are not there, we have the geysers also. So we just must strive not only on the greenery, but also on the renewable kind of energy that the whole world basically boasts of. We took you to a virtual tour around the campus, and that reminds us of the period when there were no masking, no mask, no sanitization, no hand washing, and people without social distancing, they could mix. But obviously, say the new normal that we say, when that is coming to the picture, there are obviously these precautions. Even if you have got the vaccination, these precautions have to be taken. But this is as far as what the environment is all about. And I think you must have gone through the website of NIT Silchar, and you must have seen the ranking scenario of NIT both in the national as well as in the international scenario. But when we talk about ranking, so I'm not going into the detailed numbering, because we have ranking from the engineering side, we have ranking from the overall side, which takes care of the science departments as well. But when we look at ranking, so we keep one thing in mind. It is basically the SWOT analysis that we need to do, and that every individual, not only as the institution, but every individual need to do at each and every moment. You need to identify what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, the opportunities that are coming in your way, and the threats or the challenges that are before you. So that through this analysis, which we call as the SWOT analysis or the SWOT analysis, we basically progress throughout our life. And the institute, which is a conglomeration of the stakeholders, of the individual people like all of you, all of us, we basically strive to move forward with this analysis of each of us and of our institutions as well. Now, when it comes to the institution, and before that, we first we struck on the environment issue, and in the environment there is an university ranking, that is the sustainability university ranking, in which we are in the 275th position in the world and 6th in the country. And this year we are going to submit our data soon, and fingers crossed, we don't know, that is no one knows, that is whether we will be moving up the ladder or we will be moving a few steps down, but life is like that. So the thrust on the environment that we give, that is the environment that we keep. But say, and I think by this time looking at a 625-acre green campus, you might be wondering that is how far it is from the main city. So we have obviously you know that Silchar has an airport, which is around say 45 minutes. That is the campus is 45 minutes. That is basically we say early morning 45 minutes. And if it is later in the day, that becomes doubled because that road becomes jammed and congested. But that is what city is all about. Now, that is that basically is the environment. So at say something like say 10-15 years ago, the communication facilities was not that much high, but over the last years, 5-10 years, the communication through train, through flight, through road, that has improved drastically, and so that is one part of the story. Now let us come to the institute and its academics. Because when you have selected, and you have rightly selected NIT Silchar as your destination for the next 2 years or so, even if you don't have any idea, and many of you I understand have not come to this northeast part of the country, we put research and innovation as our key focus. Say academically you understand that there are 6 engineering departments, there are 3 science departments, there is a management studies department. So the master students, they are spread across these. The MTechs are from the 6 engineering ones. So, and we have obviously the PhD and the undergraduate programs in the engineering departments as well. And we have PhD programs in the science and the management departments. So now when you say we put focus on the research and innovation, so that extends to our undergraduate courses of study as well. And in today's world, when the interdisciplinary course of study is the key focus, though we define that you are from civil or you are from mechanical or electrical or ECE or instrumentation like that, but the whatever study you do, and in a higher study like say master's program, you are obviously not only confined to your own core subjects, but your research area extends to interdisciplinary areas that require working with the science departments, working with other engineering departments as well. So when you talk about research and innovation, we put focus on undergraduate research as well as we say that masters and the PhD students, obviously they will be doing their research because that is part of their study. But undergraduate students also, we have the undergraduate research council, because through that we try to inculcate the research culture among the undergraduate students, and that extends to the masters as well as the PhD. So what that basically means, for various student activities related to the research, we try to form a group where there are undergrad UG students, BTech, there are master students, there are PhD students as well. So at the faculty level, department level, they work in a group. And we have a number of funded research projects, both from the national funding agencies as well as from the international agencies, where the students, they feel interested to work. And you will be happy to note that many of the patents that come, many of the publications that have been produced in our research laboratories by our scholars and the faculties, in many of them the undergraduate and the master students are basically the backbone of that work. So they took the challenge. So we have the undergraduate research council. Now at the same time, among the master students, on one side we have the undergraduate students and we have the PhD students on the other side. So the role of the master students, though they are of a 2 years duration in the institute, but that becomes most important because you are the bridge between the BTech and the PhD students. And the PhD students, so we have increased, the number of PhD students in the institute, not in arithmetic progression, but basically we say that in the geometric progression. Because now around 200 faculty members, we have around 1,000 PhD students. So we put focus when you say we put focus on the research and innovation, so we want that our people, our faculty scholars should be working in various interdisciplinary areas. Now with 6 engineering departments and 3 science and 1 management department, obviously if we remain just confined to our department level activities, we cannot expand. So we need to do interdisciplinary studies, and with good number of PhD students that is only possible. That is why our colleagues and the scholars are working in the medical imaging and technology, though we do not have a medical faculty. So in the, that is, as you will be knowing from the departmental and obviously everything you may not be knowing today, but our through our website and through our other activities, you will be knowing that. And just one thing I tell you at this moment, because every department organizes sometimes more than one international conferences throughout the year. And this is the period, that is when you have joined in October to say February, March, lot of international conferences will be there. And because say all of you will be getting an institutional email ID, so whenever there is an such conference or workshop is being carried out, you will be receiving the email. So from your HOD or the conference organizer, and you will be welcome to participate. Because we understand that not everything can be taught in the classroom, and not everything need to be taught in the classroom. Because there is a tendency in various quarters that because in the term of interdisciplinary one, new and new courses, new and new subjects need to be taught to the students, so that, and that means you'll have to give examinations for that. So the course curriculum is defined, that is how many subjects and etc. So that message will be communicated to you through our deans. But the main issue that we put focus is that if you want to develop yourself, if you want to learn further, participate in these various workshops, conferences, initially as a listener, then after you join, when you are working in a team, maybe as a paper presenter also, or sometimes that is in various other roles. Sometimes organization role is also very important because that is a good learning curve. So there is ample scope for you to learn more and more, and in many cases learning but without the fear of an examination, because we try to give the opportunity to our students, that is to learn by participating in the various conferences, workshops, and in taking part in the various, say, the research projects that our colleagues are pursuing. So this is the opportunity that we will be trying to open to you. Now, when we are talking about research and innovation, we focus on collaborative research. Collaboration within the department, across the department, within the country, across the globe. And we have various international collaborations and national collaborations as well. Because not everything can be there in an institution. So not every equipment, every research facility cannot be there. So there are some specific, say, the research labs within the country, say, which are some specific facilities. So students from here, and not only from here, from various institutes, they basically that is work around these national laboratories also. Now, when we talk about research and innovation, besides collaboration, we talk about interdisciplinary research. And this is the thing that you will have to keep in mind. Say, for example, I was talking about medical imaging and technology. Then biomedical engineering is another area. We do not have a biomedical engineering, but in the electrical engineering department and in instrumentation department, and so people are working in these areas. So maybe some of you might be doing your master's program, master's thesis in one of these areas. Then energy studies, another one. Then the natural language processing, that is where you'll be working with the speech and the text part as well. Machine translation, then the other areas, question answering system, summarization. So there are lot of scopes are here. Then when you come to the civil engineering domain, for example, say there are areas like say highway engineering. water resources engineering, say earthquake engineering, where our colleagues are working at the national level. So we have a National Resource Center in water resource. We have an MOU with the National Highway Authority of India, by which a large stretch around 146 kilometers of national highway, NIT Silchar faculty and the scholars are actually supposed to look after. So that has happened to various institutions across the country. It is not only with us. In the case of water resources, for example, so people, our colleagues work on the flood mitigation in these areas. In the earthquake engineering, so the earthquake or the landslide identification. In the case of mechanical engineering, so the colleagues or the HODs as will be listening, they will be talking about the energy or the composite materials, or say the 3D printing areas where they are, or the robotics, where the department people are doing the research. So that window is open to all of you. When you talk about research and innovation, we talk about internationalization also, we put a focus. And in many of the departments, you will be finding international classmates also. Classmates who are from other countries on the different parts of the globe. Maybe we have not been able to expand similar to the best of the IITs or etc. in terms of international students, but we have a very good set. Then we put focus on the industry as well as on the society, because we do believe that whatever research activities, whatever studies are carried out in the research in the laboratories, that must be brought to the society. And for bringing to the society, you need, that is through the